Many years ago, this body, it took many risks, you see, every day, you know, up a British Telecom pole with a belt, sometimes a mast, always putting on the belt. Some, they take risks on oil platforms, some on spaceships up to the moon or wherever, some on deep sea diving vessels. Everyone takes risks, you see, everybody takes a risk. And then we have adopted a way of saying, you know what, we must look after our bodies. Let's do some risk assessments, okay? And that's the way it is now, you see, risk assessments. And I'm talking on a human level today. Or for now. Who knows what's going to come next. And the risk assessments are produced to save lives and to stop incurring injuries and all that stuff. And we get the risk assessment, when we go over the risk assessment and we say the job can't be done, but we have to do it. But the fact is, rather than be negative, it's allowed you to actually look at the possibilities of what you're doing every day, of what this task is. And it's maybe overcoming some of the minor risks and to eliminate and leave that one risk, that, you know, well, I have to do it, you see, because if we don't do it, the people don't get their broadband, the people don't get their oil, the people don't get their fish, the people don't get their new planets, you know. So we're always doing it for the people, you know. We're taking risks for each other. And what is a risk, you see? Who takes a risk? The body takes the risk. The mind takes no risks. The mind convinces the body it's okay. So each day we're negotiating with our minds to try and clarify other minds or our minds and try and negotiate and come to terms with what we're going to do with our bodies, you see, because our bodies are secondary when the mind puts it at risk. And the compassionate mind says, but if we don't put our bodies at risk, you know, we won't be able to eat, we won't be able to travel to other planets, we won't be able to sit on our phones every day with broadband, we won't be able to drive our cars and, you know, cook our food with oil, you know. But it's not about what the employer wants from you. It's not about what your contract says. It's about you. You having the ownership and that sensible mind to say, what risks do I take? Does I take? Because there are two I's, you see, are there? There's the I that I can do anything. I am great. I am wonderful. I am a failure. I am a slob. I am fat. I am strong. I am powerful. And then there's the other I. I am here. I am willing. I am able to try and see this other I am and what its real capabilities are, you see. Because that other I, it says, I am powerful. What is it talking about, you see? What is it talking about? I am physically strong. I have cash behind me. I am a superior figure in the world. I am a celebrity. I am a governor. I am a king. Or on the other hand, I am just a poor old homeless punk. Yeah. That's power, you see. That's also power. Is that not powerful? No, I'm powerful enough to deny money, to deny work, to deny everything, cars, yachts, houses, phones, to be homeless. I am powerful. Much more powerful. All you people need all these incredible items to pacify your life and think that you can help a floundering species and think that you can do good for God and all that stuff. Well, I'm just as powerful. I'm denying everything. You see? I'm not advocating on behalf of any of the two, because the other eye sees beyond the powerful. It holds no power, but it holds all power. But in fact, when the two merge, it holds neither. It doesn't hold onto a mind that says this way or that way. It just accepts everything as it is. This eye that watches its other eye, its shadow eye, its puppet eye, its look at me eye, I am here eye. It just sits and observes until it's ready to invent the second eye and say, yes, okay, you said you are able to take that risk. I'm okay with that on this occasion. But when we swim to the other side of the ocean, and our mind is at the end, from England to France, and we jump in and we have to get to the other side, and we just put our head down and we swim. And most, because the attention is on, will I do it? I hope I do it. I think I can do it. I'm going to do it. Mind is always on the end, the other side. And most, unless you're completely fit, completely trained, will flounder. But no one should flounder, because there are many little boats on the way that you missed because your head was so frantically away looking at the other side. There were little yachts, there were trawler boats, and in your moment of despair, you didn't have the sense to just stop floating your back and look around and say, okay, there are no boats right now, so I have no choice. There are boats, but my ego is too big to shout for help. There are boats I could shout for help and tell them not to say anything, that I did it. All these states of pride and lying and just trying to justify an inability to do the impossible. That's what risk assessment is. When we admit that we are unable to do the impossible, we can take a step back completely. And I need help. Would it be possible to get some machinery to help me? Oh no, we can't afford that in this company. You'll have to go, we'll get someone else that can do it. Okay, I'll do it. I need the money. Or, stick it. Yeah, get someone else. Every day a risk assessment. Every day. And our excuse, our little eyes excuse is, well, you're going to die anyway, so everything is a risk. You don't know when your breath's going to stop, so just take risk after risk after risk and live life to the full. And that's open to choice, because the mind is the chooser. This I is the chooser. When there's no attention, no awareness on one individual thing, there is an ability to just focus on that thing and choose. But when your mind is open to everything, is it at risk? It's only at risk when someone says there's one thing to do. As soon as one thing arises, mind is called in. Before anything arises as this whole, Right now, there's no risks. Of course, you're going to say that your little mind's going to say, well, you could collapse on this chair any minute with a heart attack and die. That's nature. That's a natural risk. That is out of your hands. You don't have to make any assessment. You cannot make an assessment on what is going to take place, and it's inevitable and it's on time. But you can make assessments on what you do in your life. And you can make assessments on what you don't do in your life. And this life is about removing assessments and non-assessments and living in the moment, living in presence, living in now. And of course, even Jesus Christ couldn't do that. So this speaker is speaking nonsense. But when you find the now, when you understand the now, when you understand this present moment, this here-ness, this oneness, you'll understand more, not about risk assessments and non-risk assessments. You'll understand more about who you are, what you are. And it's not about taking, you have the ability then to take a laid back look on life and say, you know what, I'm not going to do anything. And then something pushes you forward because you're taking one side. And when you say, well, I'm going to do everything, something pushes you back because you're taking one side. Is that not life? Is that not a risk assessment of life? I can't take all these chances because 10 chances I'm going to have some injury with. The odds are 10 to 1 that I have an injury. But when I only take one chance, the odds are evens. Is that a greater odd or a smaller odd, you see? Your mind gets confused when you say 10 is not bigger than 1 and 1 is not bigger than 10. Smaller than 10, and 1 is not bigger than 10, and 10 is not smaller than 1. You know, that's the whole idea of suffering, is to start measuring and saying, I want this, I don't want that. I can do this, I can't do that. Stop measuring means you say, I exist. That's all I know. Whatever's going to take place will take place. There is no I choosing which direction. At work, yeah. We all have that choices to make, and this one doesn't make any better choices than you. And this one is sometimes forced into choices that it's not comfortable with, and this one takes choices that it shouldn't have taken in the first place. But that's our ignorant human ego side. But it's fun, you see. It's not, I'm not saying ignorant in the fact that you're stupid. It's ignorant in the fact that, you know what, I don't give a shit. You know, it's a risk. Life's a risk.